I wanted to go back and touch on this 93 EX500. Started some videos last year where I couldn't get the bike running. Had some issues with the starter and flywheel. Replaced all the parts that were necessary. Found out that I needed to sync the carbs. That's why I couldn't get it to run right. So tried looking up videos. I couldn't find any bench sync videos on YouTube, so making my own. First thing you want to do is disconnect all of your cables, fuel line, disconnect the boots from the front and back of the carburetors and set them up on your workbench. I'm not doing that because these are already tuned. The first thing I did when I was syncing them is loosened this screw until it was no longer touching. That screw opens and closes the butterfly valve on your second carburetor. After I had that one loosened, I came down to the bottom of them and adjusted the idle screw. I backed it out all the way until it was no longer touching. After that, I slowly turned the top one back in until it was just barely touching. I went back to the idle screw and turned it in until it was just barely touching. I tried starting the bike up. Obviously it wouldn't start up, so I used the hand grip, opened it up a little bit, got it running, and was able to adjust the idle screw from that point on. That was the easiest way I found to do it. Once it was running at that point, you could make a liquid carb sync gauge out of a yardstick and some tubing. It'll cost you all $2 or $3 to do it. I used that method to fine-tune the carbs, and the bike runs great now. If you have more than 2 carburetors, it's a little bit more work, and it might be easier to use 4 bottles instead of one length of tubing folded over. There's videos on that online, so I'm not going to get into that, especially since I don't have a 4-carb vehicle right now. But the bike does run and drive now, so that's all that matters. Hopefully it'll help you guys out if you have to sync some carbs.